Today I'm just going to quickly show you how I make sign visualizations for one of my clients. How I bring my picture, in this case this is a fake scenario for this purpose, and you'll see I bring the image into Fspy to align the perspective and have it calculate my camera angle for me. Flip over to Blender, where I use the Fspy add-on to import my scene, and as you'll see, the camera is set. The perspective is a little bit off in this case, but it is good enough for this purpose. Most of these visualizations are an approximation and very quick and dirty. My agreement is to spend minimal time but still having a decent look. So here you'll see I am blocking out the main building that is going to be a new cafe with a new sign. Generally the images are taken by the clients, and we will request a measurement such as the door so that we get a real world scale, so that when we decide on sign scales we can have the real world scale, and that helps with calculations and everything. In this case, since this is just demonstration, we're not going to have any real world scale. We're just going to try to match out. Here, instead of putting this into a photo editing software, I'm just selecting the old signs and putting a pinkish background to just mask out the old existing signs. And then throwing in a plane. As I said, it's not very important to be super detailed as long as you get the whole area covered, and so you can project your image texture there. That is the primary purpose here. I'm just going to throw in a sky texture to give myself lighting, because usually we do a day and night shot, and with the sky texture, the Nitash, it is very easy to achieve this. Here you'll notice I'm adding a lot of edge loops just to sharpen the projection, and if you look carefully you'll see that the chairs have a little of distortion because they are on a plane instead of actual 3D geometry, and this varies on what geometry you have in front of you. Sometimes I'll block out poles, signs, but in this case I didn't really care. The chairs are such a minimal part of this visualization. Here you'll see I imported an SVG file, and here I'm just using a Raspberry Pi logo for this experiment or this visualization. You extrude them, add the materials. Here I'm adding a support beam to support the sign. I'm creating a flag. This one is a front extruded lit sign, so you have the LEDs inside there. And then I'm just going to duplicate this sign, put it on the other corners so that you can see this cafe from multiple different directions. Now we're just gonna throw a simple text here to kind of give our cafe a name. Let's just put something like a raspberry cafe, kind of generic, but you get the idea. Scale it, extrude it, position it. For this sign I decided that I'm gonna put a backlit letters instead of frontlit like the signs. This is easily done where you turn the text into geometry, select the back vertices, apply a new material, and now you have a backlit text sign. Now finally we have all the signs in the right location. We can start to render out our final visualization. So first I'm going to create a a day image, and then I'll do a night image. There you go, render out, and that's the first day image. Save that. Then I go in and illuminate everything, add an emission shader with the same colors. We're not going for hyper-realism, so just a regular emission shader is plenty for this purpose. And here you'll see that I'm going to switch over to the world, duplicate it so that I have a day and night I can switch between them easily. Drop down the elevation until I have a night scene. Adjust the colors. I missed a few vertices there, so just apply the material again. And since I want to keep the dark green and red, instead of adjusting the materials, I'm just going to throw in a few point lights to give that nice bounce lighting from the sign. And this is the main purpose why I do these visualizations in Blender instead of Photoshop or Affinity Photo, because I can really easily get all this wonderful bounce lighting for the night shots. When that's all done, hit render again, and there we have it. We have our night shot. And then just save the project file, add a denoiser in this night shot because of the noise caused behind the letters. So here we have our day shot with the signs. And then we have our night shot. And that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in, and hope this helps in your sign visualizations.